Testament was given. I will give you something. Why Old Testament came? Take Numbers 20. Numbers 20, 1 to 7. Why Old Testament was given? He has given both of them, and he wants you and me to pick up only the treasures. But instead of taking out the treasures, we have started taking whatever we liked, bypassing the commandments of Jesus, that we should follow only his commandments. Now, here is a lesson. Then the children of Israel, the whole congregation came into the wilderness of Zin in the first month, and the people stayed in Kadesh. Then Miriam died there and was buried there. Now, there was no water for the congregation, so they gathered together against Moses and Aaron. And the people contended with Moses and spoke, saying, if only we had died when our brethren died before the Lord. Why have you brought up the assembly of the Lord into this wilderness, that we and our animals should die here? And why have you made us come up out of Egypt to bring us to this evil place? It is not a place of grain or figs or wines and pomegranates, nor is there any water to drink. So Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly to the door of the tabernacle of meeting, and they fell on their faces, and the glory of the Lord appeared to them. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, now go for the 8 to 10. Now, the Lord God started speaking. Okay, Moses, take the rod. Go, speak to the mountain. Speak to the mountain. Instruction was speak to the mountain. Earlier he said strike the water, strike the mountain. This time the instruction was very clear. Take the rod. In the presence of all the Israelites, your brothers and sisters, speak to the mountain. Have the rod, but don't hold out the rod. It's not the Red Sea. In the Red Sea, he said, hold out your rod. And he held out. This time, no holding out. Take the rod. So this guy went into the tabernacle, picked up the rod, and what he did? He struck the rock twice. Water came. Water came. They all drank water. Then the Lord God said, come to the 11 and 12. 11 and 12. Sorry, come on. 11 to 15 you can, very good, that's fine. Now, then the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, because you did not believe in me to hallow me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore you shall not bring this assembly into the land which I have given them. That is it. Moses and Aaron lost out. He said, have the rod. Have the rod. He never said, hold it out. Now he has given the Old and New Testament. And what is his instruction? Did he ask us to teach Old Testament? Is there any commandment from Jesus to teach Old Testament? Can anybody say that? Matthew 28:20. In Matthew 28:20, he said, teach them to observe whatever I have commanded you to teach. He never said teach Old Testament. Just like this 20 verses 7 to 11 is take the rod, keep it with you, then speak to the mountain. Speak to the rock, it will give water. He struck the mountain, struck the rock. Likewise, the instruction is teaching them to observe all things that I have commanded you. He never said, teach the Old Testament. Never said, teach the Old Testament commandment. In Matthew 13:52, he has said that. Matthew 13:52, he said that. Treasure. Treasure from the Old and the New, not commandments. Not commandments. Sister, Old Testament has all the stuff to take you to hell. To take you to hell. You have to be very careful. He said only somebody who is instructed well in the kingdom should look at the Old Testament. Not everybody. The Old Testament is not for the kids. Old Testament is not for the kids. Who is a kid? A kid is one who has not mastered Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Hebrews 5:12 and 13. Who is a kid? A kid is one who is not well versed in the kingdom matters. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. And those kids should never read Psalms, Proverbs, Isaiah, Jeremiah.